Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to ASMRTheChew, and I'm your girl Spirit. And today I'm gonna do story time chit chat because one of my spirit likes came and said in the comments, Spirit, you ain't gonna do story time again. Yes, I'm gonna do story time. I'm gonna be running my mouth, but y'all know your girl what? Move by the freaking spirit. And today I feel like talking, so let's talk, let's chat. Let me tell you about somebody's business. Be all up in somebody's business. We gonna be all up in somebody's business, but nah, it's a really cute. I think at the end of the story, it's pretty cute, but I found myself thinking about it. I was discussing it with my daughter, and sometimes I would burst out and laugh, and I'm like, no, he didn't. He didn't have to do that. Boy, why you do that? Why would you call the cops on your mother like that? Why would you do that? So let's get into it. Okay, so thank you for being here once again, y'all. Thank you. Now, I had to go to therapy. I wasn't feeling all that great today. I was feeling pretty miserable. And I was just so achy. I really didn't want to be bothered with nobody. But I had to go that day. When I go to places like the doctor, the dentist, therapy, anything. When I do stuff like that, I'm pretty much reserved. I'm pretty much quiet. I pretty much sit back. I pretty much just kind of observe everything that's going around me and people. And when I went inside, it was a really really nice quiet type of vibe. And I was like, okay, well, I guess whatever happened, it's gonna be really relaxing. I'm gonna feel better, and pretty much it's nothing else gonna go happen. Nothing else is going on. Well, I saw this young man, and first of all, he was cute. Okay, he was Mexican, and he had his hair dyed. He dyed his hair like a yellowish gold on top, and he had it slick in the back, the black color, whatever color his natural hair is, and it was cute, which is coming twirly down. He was such a cute young man. He was over there massaging somebody's back and helping them feel better. And he looked like he was looking at the computer. He was looking at whatever he needed to do. It looked like he was like using some type of technique to make the person feel better. So I was just watching, and the person laying on the table was just like he was just gone. He was just feeling so good. He looked like that was the best relief that he got in a long time. So I was kind of happy for him that he was feeling better. So I had two other people helping me. It was two young ladies. One was like a receptionist. She was helping me with my paperwork. The other one was more like the nurse or whatever. And she was basically trying to help me get set up for my treatment. At the time, the holidays was coming, so she was saying that they were preparing, getting together. She can't wait to see her family for the holidays and stuff like that. And then he kind of let out a like a, that, oh boy, the holidays coming and I gotta be dealing with family and stuff like that. That's how the the young man, we need to give him a name. We gonna call him Cutie. He was such a cutie. We're gonna call him Cutie. So Cutie was over there like, oh my God. And so the nurse, we're gonna call her, yeah, 'cause she was okay. What can I call her? I need a name, y'all. She was a black lady. She was about, I would say about 36, and she was just blunt up front. Okay, so we gonna call her straightforward. We gonna call her straightforward. Okay, I need to give her a cute name. Miss It. That's it. We're gonna call her Miss It because she was cute. She was a baddie. Anyway, so the young man, Cutie, was over there kind of pouting and stuff like that. So Miss It was like, "What's the matter with you? What's going on with you? Ain't you happy about the holidays? The holidays coming. You get to spend the holidays with the family." Well, um, we've been going through something. Our family been going through a lot, and I don't know. I don't know. Like my family's fake. Like they all fake. I was like, child. First, I was sitting there just relaxing. He went from singing, I don't know. I don't know if I really want to get together with family. He just came straight out. Like, my family's fake. They all fake. And my head just went up like, ooh, what is going on? But what he about to talk about now, he's like, I have an issue with my mother. And I was thinking to myself in my head, who don't? Who don't have an issue with their mother? So that's what I was thinking in my head, right? He was like, I'm grown. I'm grown. I pay my rent. I do what I gotta do. I take care of myself. I put my own gas in the car. I take care of my bills. When I go out with my friends, I have my own money. I'm grown and I am just like, I'm tired of my mother trying to tell me what to do. She's always in my business, always want to critique my friends. I was just like, Cutie was going off. He said, when I get home from work, I don't want nobody telling me what to do, where I can go, where I can't go. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I really want to spend the holidays with my family. So then the young Miss It said, so she said, well, how big is your family? Do you have a small family? Do you have a big family? He said, yeah, I got a whole bunch of brothers and sisters. I am the third of the oldest. There's like three older people. There's two other people older than me, and then everybody else is younger than me. And she was like, well, how old are you? I'm 21. I'm 21. I'm grown. I'm a man now. I can do what I want to do. I don't need her telling me when to come in, when not to come in. She trying to tell me who to hang out with. She trying to tell me who I should be friends with. She got something to say about my friends. She don't like my friends. She don't like who I hang out with. And the young lady was like, well, have you talked to your mom about it? Have you like sat down and kind of told her your feelings and express how you feel like, maybe your relationship is not like on a good path. It's like, yeah, because if something was to happen to me today, I would feel bad that I didn't get to work out like a good relationship with my mom and my dad. I would feel bad, and I'm sure that they would feel bad too if something happened and we didn't get to work out our relationship. So Miss Issa, so you have a problem with your dad? I don't really have a problem with my dad, but he let my mom run the show. He let her run the house. He let my mom tell him what to do. He let my mom dress him, and then when they get around friends and family and different people, they so fake. My mom act like her relationship with my dad is so perfect. It is not perfect. Girl, if you was a fly on the wall in our house, you would know my mom's so fake. She get around people and act like her and my dad's so in love. Okay, y'all been married. Miss It was like, well, how long your mom and dad been married? Oh, they've been married all my life. My older sister is like 30, so they've been married for over 30 years. And just because you married for that long, people like, oh my God, that's beautiful. Yes, y'all been together for so long. That is so ideal. He's like, no, it's fake. My mom can't stand my dad. She don't really like him. She bossed him around. And I went to my dad and was like, Dad, you know, you don't have to let her treat you that way. Why does she have to be in charge of everything? Why does she have to tell everybody what to do? Miss It was like, well, what did your dad say when you came to him? He was like, you know, son, no, mom is right. Listen to your mom. Do what your mom say. If you don't like what she said, then you need to move out, and then you can tell her how much of a man you are. And I was just like, so Miss It was like, I'm with your dad. Okay, so you living at home with your mom and your dad? He said, yeah, well, it's about family. We're a big family. We all still live together. I still want to be around my family. I still want to be connected to my family because I love my family. Like, I love my mom. I love my dad. But I just don't like the fake stuff. I don't like that fake stuff. Like, fake. This just so fake. They act like they so perfect, and I don't like it. Like, every people think that my mom and dad got it going on, but they don't. They so fake. He kept using the word fake over and over and over again. And he was like, well, at least I'm real and I'm up front with how I feel and everything. I ain't trying to be nothing than what I am. I'm being real, and I feel like my mom and dad, everybody believe that they just got this perfect life. So then Miss It was like, well, have you ever thought about moving out? Move out for what? I pay my rent. I pay my rent. And she said, well, if you move out, your mother won't be able to tell you what to do. I don't want to be away from my family. Like, I love my family. Like, I just feel like my dad needs to step up and put her in her place. Child. I was like, okay. He was going off, boy. He was going off. I'm just sitting there and listening. Now, this whole time, I haven't said nothing. I was just listening. And then he was like, so then the girl was like, Miss It was like, you and your mom need to sit down and seriously have a talk, because if you start now with trying to smooth things over with your mom and create boundaries, both of y'all create boundaries, and y'all respect each other, everything will be okay. He was like, girl, I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if we will be able to fix it. Just like, but y'all still live in the same house. How you can't fix it? You say you pay your rent. You let your mom know, look, mom, I pay my rent. And you know, she said, do you have your own room? He says, yeah, I have my own room. All the ones that pay rent have their own room. And all the ones that's younger are still living, you know, underneath my mom, they all share rooms and stuff like that. But we have our own room. We have a nice big family house and everything. And I love living at home. I love like being around my family. I'm just like tired of my fake mother. So she was like, well, you need to work things out with your mom, because literally that's your mom. And even though you don't like the things they say and you don't like how she tell you about your friends and stuff, people can see when you can't. And moms do things with good intentions. This is what Miss It said. She said, trust and believe. Moms do things with good intentions. And she was telling him that she have a niece that she raised, and she became her niece mom because her sister had passed. She was like, I miss my sister, and my niece miss my sister, and my niece is like my daughter now, but you only got one mom and you need to work things out. And he was like, girl, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. I don't know if I'll be able to do that. And she's like, well, it can't be that bad. You can't work things out with your mom. He was like, girl, You gonna gag when I tell you this. So when he said that, I was just like preparing myself. What he about to say? So she was like, Miss, it was like, look, you can tell me whatever you need to tell me. I am not gonna gag. I'm a very grown woman. I can handle anything. If there's nothing I haven't seen, okay? And he was like, okay, girl. Oh my God, I don't want y'all to think I'm a bad person. And it was like, it was, let me see, it was him, one, two, three. It was four us in the room. It was five, but she was doing something else in another room. And the other girl was like, well, I work with you, the reception. This she had not said the whole time, but this time she was like, I work with you and you're very respectful. People really like you. I don't think you can really tell us anything that will make us judge you or anything like that. He's like, okay, I'm gonna need all y'all to hold y'all breath for like a couple of seconds and don't let it go until I tell y'all because this is hard for me. This is so hard for me. So I was like, I'm just listening. He's like, you got kids? And I say, yeah, I do. I have grown kids too. And he was like, oh, I'm gonna need you to hold your breath. So we was all like this. So I was like, okay. He was like, I called the cops on my mother. I tried to have her locked up. I tried to get them to put her in jail. I wanted her to go to jail. I wanted her to stay in jail for a while. I didn't want her living in the house no more. And when the police got out there, she wouldn't open up the door because she didn't want to go to jail. And it just got so, it was so bad. Child. I was like this. I heard everybody else like, and then I heard her say, you did what? He said, yeah, girl, I called the cops on her. So the other girl was like, have you ever called the cops on your mom before? No. When he looked at me, I was like, you still live at home? You still live at home? You still living at home? He's like, girl. So then he talking to me. He like, let me tell you what happened. I came home one night. It was pretty late. I was out drinking with my friends. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. And my mom was sitting up waiting for me. And she was like, I shouldn't be coming in the house that time of morning. And then she basically started yelling at me. And I was like, I'm grown. I'm a man. You can't tell me what to do. I pay rent. I pay rent. And she was like, I want you out of my house. You getting out of here. And she put me out the house. We got into like a push fight. Like we didn't like, I didn't put my hands on her, but we was kind of pushing on each other. And she pushed me out the door. She put me out and I was banging on the door. Let me in, let me in. And then my dad come to the door saying, hey son, you go find somewhere else to go. Your mom don't want you here no more. He was like, I'm not leaving. This is my house. She can't put me out. I want my stuff. I want my clothes. And girl, when he said when she would not give me my clothes, I called the police. I told them that she pushed me. She put her hands on me and she got my stuff and I want her locked up. I'm pressing charges and I want her to go to jail. And I waited for the police to get there. I waited for the police to get there. And I was just like, when I tell you I was like this, I was like, he's like, say something. I was like, your mom still speaking to you? Not really. I was like, so you still living in the house and your mom not really speaking to you? She upset. Like we've been working on it. Like we're talking about things, but it hasn't really gotten better because I think she's still like hurt and upset, and everybody can't believe that I did that I called the cops on my mom. I didn't only call the cops on her, I wanted her to go to jail. I really wanted the cops to lock her up. I'm being so surreal. Like, I'm not gonna lie and say I just called the cops because I was angry and I just wanted my clothes. No, I wanted her to go to jail. And so I was like, well, what happened when the cops got there? She didn't want to come to the door, nothing. They finally made her open up the door. They talked to my mom, they talked to my dad, and they realized that me and my mom just really basically had like a spat, a argument or whatever. And they were saying that we need to work it out or whatever. And after the cops left and everything, basically my mom she was hurt. She couldn't believe that I was really standing here talking to the cops and trying to convince the cops to lock my mother up. I was trying to get her locked up, girl. And my mom is just like so upset with me. The family's upset with me. People like, oh my God, I can't believe you would do that. He said, at the time, I was just feeling so hurt. I was so mad. She keep trying to tell me what to do. She keep trying to tell me to live my life. So I was just like, and he said, I know y'all probably don't understand. Y'all don't understand, like, parents, they don't understand us. They just wanna control us. So that's when I stepped in, and I basically was telling him that I am a mom. I have a son. Okay. So I get it. I get it. You pay rent. You don't want nobody telling you what to do, telling you what time to come in, who to hang out with, and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you'll never pay the amount that your family put into to keep the family going, keeping a roof over their head. You don't know all of the debts and problems that come, that's financial, that costs money, that costs you, that create problems for financial reasons. But I was just explaining to him that there's a lot more to it than just his rent. I said, so do your other brothers and sisters pay rent? He said, yeah, the other two oldest pay rents too. And I said, well, how long you been like paying your mom rent? Well, I turned 21. Once I turned 21, she requires that I pay rent. So all this time you live with your mom, you never had to give her nothing. He said, well, I live with my mom and my dad, my family. I said, okay. So the whole time you live with your family, you ain't had to give your mom nothing. No. Only when I turned 21. The other ones had been turned 21, so they've been paying. One of them been home for 3 years. One of them been home for 4 years. They haven't moved out yet. And I'm not planning on moving out because I like being with my family. I like being a part of our family. But I just want my mom to realize that I'm grown. She has to see me as a man. She cannot see me as a boy. That's what he said. And he said, I know you. Tell me what you think. He asked me it. And Miss It said, I think that your mom should have put you out and then let you stay back in. She said, because let me tell you something. I had a niece who did that to me. That when my sister passed, my niece started taking me through problems, running the street, coming in when she feel like it. And one day she came in and she threatened me, telling me not that I can't tell her what to do. She said, we fought. I put my hands on her and I called the cops myself. I told them I'd beat her A, come get her. And when they got there, she thought that it, when it got there, they talked to the police. Instead of police locking me up, the police said, if she give you any more problems, we'll come get her. She said, so you still living at home is a blessing that you still live with your mother. Because if it was me, you would not be able to stay in here today and tell us you called the cops on your mother and you wanted her to go to jail. So after Miss It told her how he felt, because she felt some type of way, because she was just like, parents do a lot. Parents take on a lot. And although we may do the things we do that is annoying to young people who just turned into adults, A lot of times moms are doing things with good intentions because they've been there, done that, and they just don't want you making the same mistakes. And I told him, I said, listen, I have a son, and my son is young too. He in his young 20s, okay? Mid 20s now. Is it mid 20s? He's still kind of on, yeah, he not really mid yet. He's still kind of on the young 20 side. I said my son has his own car. He makes his own car payment as well. He has a career. He has his own apartment. He has his own bills. And my son also only had to give me a small amount when he was staying with me to help towards the finances. And it was nowhere near of what I had to pay out. And I said, and now that he's on his own, I have no choice but to respect him, respect his boundaries, and see him as a man. And I said that you can still talk to your mom and have her respect your boundaries and also see you as a man start now, even though you still live at home. But until you get out there on your own, because you can go from giving your parent as little as $200 a month to being out there on your own to paying $3,500 to $5,000 a month for your own bills. And yeah, your mom's gonna see you as a man when you can do that. And I said, living at home is nothing like living on your own. As long as you live in your mother's house, you need to respect her and respect the rules that she put in place and respect the boundaries, because you're not living there just with you and your mother. You have children that are under you that are still looking up to you and the other three children. And if she let you disrespect her and cross her boundaries, the ones that she's still raising are going to do the same thing too. And your father loves your mother. I don't know your family, so I can't really speak on how you feel like they fake and all of that. But I feel like your father is the one that goes out there and work, like you say, your mother is like a at home wife. Like at some point in the story, he was telling us that his mom stay at home and the father go out and he work and he make all the money. Well, the father goes out, he makes the money, she takes care of home. And if he say, listen to your mom, I think you should respect your father and not think less of him, because he wants you to respect not only your mother, but his wife. Okay? And I feel like while you at home with your mom, you need to make amends with your mom, because you only got one mom and you ain't gonna know what you have until you don't have it no more. And you don't want to experience having have because I asked him, did he have a hard time or a bad relationship with his mom when he was younger? He was saying no, he loved his mom. Him and his mom was close and everything. It's just that now that he want to do what he want to do, he don't want her permission. He don't want to ask her, can he do anything? He don't want her telling her. He don't want her telling him what he can and cannot do. He don't want her in his business. So he said that's what created them not to be close anymore. And it just made him so angry inside, because he felt like now he has to give up part of his money for rent, that she shouldn't have a say so in his life. And I told him, I said, well, believe it or not, when you're no longer living with your mom, you're going to want to be around your mom even more. It don't feel that way right now. But when you get out on your own, completely on your own, there's going to be a lot of days that you're going to miss your mom, missing her advice, missing her hellos, missing her just want to know how you doing. You only got one mom, you don't get another one, so and he said, you probably think I'm such a horrible person. You probably think of all kinds of stuff about me. And I was like, no, I don't think you was a horrible person. I feel like you probably just was going through a lot that day. I don't know exactly what you was going through, but it built up. Whatever you and your mom was going through, it built up and built up, and it just transpired into you calling the cops on her and really want her to be locked up. And he said, now that I think about it, I feel bad about it. I shouldn't have called the cops on my mom. Like, why did I do that? Oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I feel so bad. And everybody kind of looking at me at home, the family, and they come around, they like, they basically side-eyed him and everything. But I told him over time, go to his mom and tell her I'm sorry. Because I asked him, have he said that he's sorry yet? He said that he haven't even said it. He haven't even told his mom sorry. He haven't even said, I feel bad about what I did. He haven't. And he said, I told him, go home because I can see that you feel bad about what you did. Tell your mom how you feel, what you was feeling, and you're sorry. You shouldn't have called the cops on her, and work on your relationship because I'm sure your mom really loves you. I'm sure your mom really, really loves you and that she would do anything for you. And he said, well, since the incident, we haven't really talked much. Y'all hear that? The thunder is coming. Oh my God, a storm is coming. So I'm going to have to cut this a little short. So I done lost my train of thought thinking about that thunder, y'all. Okay, so I told him, I said, once you apologize to your mom, you could just let her know that she did well. You're making responsible decisions and that you're doing what you can to show her and your father and yourself that you're a man and you're growing into yourself and you just need a little bit space. Like I feel like a lot of times parents meddle in their kids' life because they're worried about them. They're worried about them making terrible decisions because they're this newfound adult. But once you kind of move out on your own, the parents kind of more and more space become between y'all because you're doing more and more stuff without the parent. The parent can't see what you're doing 24/7 or can't see the wrong or the rights that you're making until you come around and kind of update them on what's going on with your life. So they kind of built this resistance up to start respecting you as this adult. But if you live at home with your parent, don't let things get so bad to the point where now y'all calling the cops on each other. Now, let me tell you, me and my son, we done had some arguments. I remember my son walking around the house and he was saying to me, watch, 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 what? I was like, watch what? Watch what? Watch what? Oh my God, me and my son done got into it. I remember one time my son told me, this is exact words. He said, Mom, if I have to pay rent, when I come in the house, do not speak to me. I said, come in who house? I said, so you think you can walk in my house? Because you gave me a little bit of rent and I can't speak to you? Oh, no. No. You could keep your rent if that's the case. You could keep your rent and find you somewhere to stay with it. So me and my son, we don't have our ring around the rosy. We don't have our arguments. We don't have our spats. But we get together as a family. We have always gotten together as a family and talk about the situation and how to resolve it so that we can stay close as a family. Yeah. Now, I can tell you the whole time of my son growing up, child, I don't know how, because there's been some times, do you hear me? Oh my God, especially when I couldn't find my son when he was younger, before he was grown. Child, but I can tell you the whole entire time that I raised my son and the whole entire time that he lived in the house with me once he became an adult, we never called the cops on each other. We never had the cops come to the house. But that doesn't mean that the whole neighborhood didn't hear us arguing. That doesn't mean we didn't tell each other off, okay? We don't have our times. But it's all about how you handle it after the argument. After you get out what you say and everything, how you going to go on? How are you going to make sure your relationship stays strong? How are you going to make sure your bond is tight? We always found a way to sit down, hear each other out. Let one person say what they gotta say. Even if you don't like it, let them speak their say. It's better to know the truth and hear what they gotta say than for you to say everything you gotta say and it's only one sided. Because everybody has an opinion, everybody has feelings, and everybody has their perspective. And everybody has their perspective. And the one thing I have learned as a mom, people can take things the wrong way. They really can. And I am definitely guilty of that. I'm definitely guilty of that. I remember there was a time that I was upset with my son. And when he explained what he was talking about, his perspective, I had taken something that I could have been so upset with him, and he wouldn't have never knew how upset I was if we did not talk. And once I heard his perspective, I really did take things the wrong way. And just because your child is growing up and is growing to an adult doesn't mean that they love their mother or their father less. It just means they want room. They need room to grow. You had room to grow. They need room to grow. I have tried my best to give my children their room to grow because I was once a young person who was growing into an adult. But the difference between, and I always remember that, the difference between me and my children was I didn't have someone telling me where I can go and what I can do because I became an adult at a very young age. At 14 years old, I was a legal adult. I had no adult telling me what to do. So y'all know Spirit did what the freak she wanted to do. I remember my friends hanging out at my house. I was the go-to. I was the go-to. Let's go hang out at our girl house. And they parent would come to my house. Boom, 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 boom. Banging on my door, trying to embarrass me in front of my neighbors, and I would open up the door with the chain on it. Do y'all have that? Because in New Jersey, we had the little chain on the door. You put the chain on the door and you open it. And them chains was strong. Do you hear me? And I'll be at the door like, hello? Hey, where's my daughter? Tell my daughter, bring her out here. Your daughter not here. Open this door. I'm coming in right now. Where's your parent? I want to talk to your mother. My mother don't live here. Your mother don't live here. This is my house. I'm calling the cops. Call the cops. You ain't coming in here. This is my house. And I'm not opening up the door for you no more. And then shut the door in her face. Like, you're not gonna be banging on my door. This is my house. And I would have to tell my friends, look, get your issue right with your mom when you come over here, because it was like 9 of us always hanging out. When you come over here, I don't need them knocking on my door. I had to tell my friends, get y'all issue right before y'all be coming to my house, okay? But I didn't have that space where I had someone guiding me and telling me what they didn't even child they just let me be an adult and I was just out there, okay? They guided me financially, I was fine. But as far as someone just being there for me, checking on me, I didn't even have no one really come check up on me. Like literally no one came to my house and made sure that I was taking care of myself, make sure I was eating, making sure I was clean. I didn't have that, but that was the difference between me and my children. So I try to remember that, that feeling of being a young person and being, because even though I was a legal adult, I still was a kid to people in their eyes, and they treated me as so. So I try to remember that feeling of people not respecting me, not treating me like an adult that I am, even if I'm only 14 years old. So I try to remember that as my children were growing up. So I like to sit and talk to my children and we really work things out. And one thing about it, it's better to know the truth of how your parents feel, and for parents it's better to know how your children feel, so that when people put up boundaries, you can respect them and not cross them. And that's what I had to learn through my journey, through all my children, through all of them. Okay, so I'm gonna cut the story time off from here. Have a wonderful day, afternoon, and night. And my best advice to give to you, rather, if you have like a parent figure and you're living in their house, save your money, respect your parents, respect their house, because one day you may have your own children, and remember, your children are going to be worse than you. Trust me when I tell you, okay? So the same way you respect your parents, you want your children to respect you, and maybe you can take what you can from you and your parents' relationship and apply it to being a better parent when you're a parent. That's the best thing you can do. But as far as the now advice, respect boundaries, save your money, and get your own. Because when you got your own, you are your own person. Period. Okay? Get your own. It's nothing wrong living with your parents, but when you and let me explain something else too. Not all children that live at home with their parents live with their parents. Sometimes people choose to live with each other. Just like he said, his other sisters and brothers, they haven't moved out because they're choosing to live with their parent, okay? Like with me and my daughter, we're choosing to live with each other. She can get her own place, I can get my own place, but together we do better together, we thrive better together, and we helping each other. So me and my daughter don't live with me. I don't live with her. We live with each other. We both are responsible for everything. But when you live in a parent's house and you're not responsible for the water, the lights, the food, the cleaning, the responsibilities, the maintenance, you're not responsible for none of that but to give your parent a small portion of rent, you live with your parent. But when you paying half of everything, then it's a different dynamic. That means y'all living with each other, not you living with your parent. So if you're not paying half for everything, you're living with your parent. If you're paying half for everything, then y'all live with each other, okay? And if you're living with your parents, save a little bit of money, especially if you don't feel like you want your parent to know everything you got going on. And I get it. I definitely understand. Save your money, and God bless the child who got his own. And I will see you in the next video. Bye. Make sure y'all leave me a comment, thumbs up, turn your notification on, because 2022, since I know y'all like my voice, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And you like my story times and my chit chats, I would definitely be, I'm here for it. I'm here for it, 2022.